Hey, it's another let's start that again. Hey, it's another YouTube video. I needed a setup, so I just put a bunch of wacky stuff on my desk. I put a Pac-Man machine on with a miniature Pac-Man machine that actually plays Pac-Man, by the way. Actually plays Pac-Man. And then next to it, we have a bunch of good games. We have Disney Infinity, Cartoon Network Racing, Looney Tunes Acme Arsenal, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, a mystery game that we'll talk about later, and Rayman 3D, a gross port of Rayman 2 from 1999 on the 3DS, and Shrek on the DS. And then I have and a donut right there. And then I got a wolf on top of a VR headset, but it's like one of those things that you stick your phone in. It's not like that legit. I got a cheat code book and then all this stuff, but you don't really see that, so it doesn't matter. So box art's cool. Box art is important. It's the image you think of when you hear the game's name when it's brought up. It's meant to represent everything you need to know about the game and will forever be associated with that game. While there are some box arts that are really good and represent the game well, some may have only done one or the other, and some just didn't do either. So I thought it'd be fun to take some box art that I don't think are the best and make them better. Now keep in mind that when I say I think a box art is bad, it is solely based on my opinion. Okay? And also keep in mind that I'm not a Photoshop god. So, you know, think of it as more of like I don't know, a blueprint, or something. Because I don't know. Basically, don't take me seriously. First off, let's start with BioShock Infinite. A big problem with this box art is that it focuses on the main character you play as in the game, Booker DeWitt. But the problem is that you barely see him in the actual game because it's in first person. So to start, I made this cover focus more on Elizabeth, as she's the most prominent and memorable character in the game, while putting Booker in the back, as he's still the main character, just not the focus. And for the background, I put the floating city of Columbia, which is a location in the game, and added a bit of a CRT filter to show that the game takes place in a bit of an older time period. During the PS1 and early PS2 era, when 3D games started to become more normal, a lot of game box art just started to put 3D models on with a logo, and while at the time these were pretty cool, nowadays they look pretty bad. And Resident Evil 4 unfortunately fell victim to this, so instead of making it look like this, I decided to give it a kind of this look. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe like a painted style? I don't know. Anyway, I did that, and then I used the village in the game as a background, and then added the monster version of the village chief, giving the art an overall darker and less colorful tone, as it's kind of how the game is and how it looks. The NES and SNES era of games had some of the best box art ever, but not all were great. This is one of the most infamous box arts ever. It's really bad, and I don't think anyone is going to disagree with me on that. All I had to do with this one is put a picture of an actual good drawing of Mega Man or the city from the game, and it's already a billion times better. Okay, now bear with me on this one, because I haven't played it yet, but Ico's box art was just too bad to ignore. But from what I've read when doing research, it's about a boy wandering around a dungeon. For this, I made it nice and simple. As simpler is sometimes just better. A logo over art from the game. It's kind of inspired by the European box art, but slightly different at the same time. While we're on the topic of simpler box art, the original Metal Gear cover is terrible. Box art like this can be good. For example, some of the Final Fantasy or Zelda games had these. But the difference with these is they had more going on. Final Fantasy had beautiful silhouettes representing elements from the game, and it looked beautiful, and Zelda had a sword and a shield with a really well-made logo. Look at these compared to this. It's boring. So let's make it more interesting. I added the silhouette of Solid Snake and a gun, and then made the colors a little more interesting, and to finish it off, I added a black stroke to the logo. I kept a somewhat simple design while making it more interesting at the same time.